Ready, steady, roll.
No country has ever prospered that failed to put its own interests first. Both our friends and our enemies put their countries above ours. And we, while being fair to them, must start doing the same. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. The nation state remains the true foundation for happiness and harmony. I am skeptical of international unions that tie us up and bring America down.
Hello, and welcome to Right Now, the official podcast of New Right Network. I'm your host, War of the Fanboys, and with me today is a very special guest and New Right Network partner, Wayne Dupree. Wayne, thank you for being here.
Man, I am so happy to be with y'all tonight. It is a pleasure and an honor. I love what you're doing over at New Right, and let me tell you something. Let's get this party started.
Yeah. All right, Wayne, you have quite a list of accolades here. You've been named one of the most influential Black Republicans in the nation. You've won Blogger of the Year award, a Podcast of the Year award. For our listeners, can you tell us who you are and what it is you do?
You know what? I am a jack of all trades, actually. I am a radio show host. I'm a political commentator. I wouldn't say I'm a GOP strategist, but I'm a Trump supporter. I am an independent conservative. I am not a Republican because the leaders have such a hard. Well, we'll talk about that later in the show. But I am the son of a pastor who passed away in 1997. My mom is 92 years old. She's still Sunday school superintendent. I was born 8 months from the time that Martin Luther King was shot. So yeah, I'll be 50 this year. I was raised 6 or 7 miles away from where Harriet Tubman was born. And if you look the other way, if you go in the other direction, 17 or 18 miles away from where Frederick Douglass was born and raised. So I like to always say it's in the water where I come from. It's all in the water. All of the attempts to try to help inform and educate people with my opinion and facts and different things like that. And, you know, it's been a while. It's been a long time coming, but it's something that I enjoy.
You've certainly been quite successful in your attempts to inform and educate. You've got quite a following. But Wayne, what I always like to ask is, when you wake up in the morning, what is it that drives you to do what you do? What is your motivation?
You know what? You know what drives me is the idea that so many people are still asleep. And that if we had more voices that were waking up to what the government was doing. And when I say the government, now I'm including the Republicans with the Democrats, because like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, yeah, man, the Democrats are this, the Democrats are that, and the Republicans are trying to help. But if you look at what the Republicans have been trying to do with President Trump over the last year and a half, going on 2 years now, they are, especially with these $2 trillion omnibus bills. When I wake up first thing in the morning, I want to educate and inform. I want to, if I can get one a day, then I feel like I've done my job. If you know, and I get messages all the time, DMs, direct messages. You know, I like what you have to say. You say what I want to say, and you know, I might not, or they might not be strong enough or willing to put their name out there. But, you know, I respond to them. I'm like, listen, we really need your voice because there are a whole lot of other people out there that are thinking the same thing that you're thinking. And they're waiting for somebody to come and say the same thing so that they can latch on to you for more strength, more motivation to keep on going, you know. So that's my response to them.
And that's great that you really are reaching these people, Wayne. Now, with this, with your show, the Wayne Dupree Show, how tell us a bit about that. How do you run that? How successful is that? And how does that work?
You know, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. I developed connections over the years that and I don't know if this sounds right, but I don't press my connections just because I know people. So, like with Hannity, you know, that's my big brother. I can call him anytime. I can reach out to him anytime, but he's busy. So I'm not going to bang down his door. I'm not going to bang down Alan Wester's door. These are people who I have come to know over the years, come to trust. And, you know, and I want to help them with their message. I want to help them get their message out the same way, which I do on my website, which is another medium that I use. I'm a radio show guy. I put out so many stories a day on my own website. It's tedious, but you know, keep on coming around to it. So, I mean, if it just wakes up one person, 2 people, 3 people, if it just wakes up that, then it's a success. But you know, it's hard. It's been hard over the last year, especially with the choking of our conservative voices through the media platforms. But there's an old saying: "There's many a slip, twixt cup and lip," to get past these media platforms, and you know, we're working on it.
Yeah, and sort of on that topic of this stranglehold that conservatives have seen on these social media platforms, Theory wants to know how has the transition to Vimeo been, and what inspired that move?
You know, I had a friend who talked to me because to make a long story short, I had a very interactive YouTube channel a few years ago. Everybody knew me because I used to talk about Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, and I used to do it from the comfort of my own vehicle. And I had to, you know, I did it every day, and I mean, I had close to 100,000 subscribers at the time. But I guess I poked at the belly of the beast, and I got a video from Jon Stewart from The Daily Show and put it on my YouTube page.
All right.
And it went viral. And next thing you know, CBS asked that it be taken down, and they shut the channel down. They shut the whole entire channel down. And you know, I tried to get it back.
Just one strike that shut you down.
Let it go. They let it go. And then I tried it again. I tried a second channel, and I happened to come across another video that had this Russian diplomat calling out CNN and their fake news. I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen before. So that had over 250,000 views, and it was doing well. And then I remember going to bed at 2:00 in the morning on Sunday morning, waking up at 8:00 on Sunday morning, and my channel was gone. I was like, wait a minute. There was only six hours, you know. Yeah, they took it. They took it down, and I saw the message. The message was that CNN had put in a claim on the video, not the channel. YouTube took it down, took the whole thing down. So now, you're talking about 100,000 subscribers. And now we come down to the third time that I'm doing it, and I can't even get 120 views or 120 people live to watch the show. I just felt, it was just kicking my head up against, just hitting my head up against the wall. Plus, there was a super chat button that was on YouTube that people could send in donations. Most of the people here, they could put their, $100. They could send in $100.
Right.
But within a month, this was back in July, we had raised like maybe 680, 670 bucks. Within a month, by the end of August, it was down to 370 something before it got. So YouTube was taking half of the donations. So, we just told people, look, we gotta look for something. We gotta look for something else. And Vimeo came up, but Vimeo has a live feature, but they want you to pay for a whole entire year. And I was like, well, I'm not balling like that. I don't have it like that. But a friend of mine was like, I tell you what, we'll help you get over there. I said, okay. Well, I mean, if you help me do it, I'll do it. And I thought it would take like a week or something. They did it within a day. I moved I started moving things over last weekend. And it's been slow. They are behind the curve. Vimeo is behind the curve in a little bit. But I have to say that, I'm a little bit more freer with what we can say. We can do a little bit more. And we don't have the threat of being shut down or demonetized by YouTube anymore.
Oh, that's good that you've got a new platform. Of course, Vimeo does not have big Google bucks, so
Right.
I can imagine they don't have the same level of technology. And I don't want to get too personal here, but do you mind telling me who was the friend that helped you out and get you on Vimeo?
Yeah, I call them the conservative cartel, the MAGA conservative cartel. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was. I mean, the names kept flowing in. I'll say that.
That's great that you had the backing then of your supporters. Now, Wayne, you are a black man. You're an African American. So, what I want to know is what part of being black does that feed into your identity as an American, and how does that influence you?
Say that again.
How does so you're a black man. How does being black to you influence your views, and is that a large part of your identity, or do you see yourself as an American first, black second, or are you black first, American second?
Well, I'll tell you this: I'm always going to be black. That's something, and that's just something I was born with, and something that I will now. How do I see myself? I just see myself as an American because my father taught us not to look at our skin color. You are an American. You're human. And when you throw skin color out and you start to look at people for who they are, not for what they can give you, but for who they are. If you look at their actions, if you look at their character, just basically what Martin Luther King said, then you can determine whether you want to be around that person or if you want to have a connection with that person or not. When I started back in 2012, when I started raising my voice and trying to craft a message, I used to go around saying that I was a black conservative, and people took to that. They wanted to hear that. And I would say maybe after about a year and a half, I was like, I'm going to take black conservative off because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to monetize my blackness or to move forward or get things just because I'm a black conservative. So I stopped calling myself a black conservative. and I just start calling myself a conservative, you know, and you know, I think that so many people, even on our side right now, I think so many people are caught up with the black conservative type of thing. I've heard many times that the liberals are scared of a black conservative, and I think that's the biggest lie that I've ever seen. They're not. If you watch liberals debate a black conservative on TV, they aren't running from a black conservative. They're yelling at the black conservative. They're going, you know, and usually it's 3-on-1 or 4-on-1, but they're trying to make their black conservative look weak and out of touch. So, you know, identity politics, I try to inform people about, but I also stick to news of the day or news what's going to help the American family on a regular basis. I try to stay away from the color side because
Sure,
that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything.
right. That's very very honest answer. I appreciate that, Wayne. Now, as a black man, I want to know, what are your experiences with racism in America? And especially, you said you're nearing 50. Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? What is your take as a black man?
You know what? Honestly, I can say that now when I grew up, I wasn't like, as a kid, I didn't see a whole lot of the southern type of, you know, hoses, water hoses, and different things like that. That was all dying down. That was like maybe 10 years before I was even born. So
Thankfully,
yeah, exactly, right. So I wasn't privy to that. When I was growing up, my father, like I said, my father and my mom, they taught us, you know, you be a kid, you play with the kids, no matter what color they are. I mean, when I was growing up, my best friend was a little white kid whose name was Eric, and you know, that was my best friend. And when he moved, when his family and he moved, I cried, man. I cried. I was like, that's my best friend.
oh
Now,
man,
have things changed? To me, I think things have changed for the better. I can tell you right now that most Americans don't care about race. Most Americans just want to live their lives within their homes or their neighborhood, and they want to take care of things that are more important to their family. They don't care about Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or any other white racist leaders or anything like. They don't care about this stuff. The media is the one that pushes this stuff because it's a money-making business. It's a money-making thing. So, and I'm smart enough and educated enough to see that. But when I tell people about it, when I explain it to people, then, you know, especially for some of the people on my side, you know, I'll get called the names, you know, or I hate my skin color. It's like, come on, y'all. I mean, grow up a little bit. I don't hate my skin color. I'm just telling you that America is not the racist place that you think it is. There are some racist elements in this country, yes, but America is not a racist country. It's not.
I think it's a very positive message.
I strongly believe that America is not a racist country. If America was so racist, then you wouldn't have all these illegal immigrants racing over the border illegally, trying to get over here and suck up all of our air. They would stay away as far as they could. You wouldn't have immigrants coming here every year trying to get a piece of the American dream if this was such a racist country. But the elements have a loud voice, and it's called the media, you know, and they can craft anything they want to. send it out to their affiliate stations and have the same message. What was that video that Sinclair put out? It's
Yeah,
just
the
like,
Sinclair video.
yeah, I mean, it's just like that. You have one story of racism, you put it out on all the channels, and if you keep playing it over and over and over, then people are gonna be like, yeah, America's racist. Yeah, they got a problem with their blacks. Yeah, the cops are killing all the black. No, that's another thing too. The cop. I'm not afraid of no cop. You know, you hear people say how police are on a search to kill black men and stuff. During the GOP convention, I drove from Maryland to Ohio. I wasn't pulled over once. I saw police cars all the way there. I followed the directions. I stayed to the speed limit. Not one cop pulled me over. And it's like these people out here are running a game on low information people. They're running a game on these people, and that's why I feel I have to get up every morning and keep on doing what I'm doing, just to reach one or two people. That's all.
All right. When you say that the media is always pushing these stories, do you think that they are creating or maybe relying upon an outrage culture?
No, they're creating that culture. Because again, most of the people in America don't care about race. They don't see it. They don't feel it, and they try. And if they try to push it down their throat, they reject it. So that's why you see the strong attempt to push that racist culture or the racist flags up to anger low esteem people, because there are some out there. Yes, there are, but it's just not as much as you think. It's only, you remember what happened in Saudi Arabia during when Saudi Arabia was going up in flames and Saddam Hussein was on the streets and the camera was on the streets with Saddam, and he had a small crowd around him, and the crowd and the camera was just fixated on a part of the crowd to make it look like it was thousands and thousands of people. Well, that's what they do with racism now. They try to make it feel like it's a large crowd, and it's not. And it's not. I mean, it sucks. I know it sucks to see that coming from our media, coming from our leaders, well, so-called leaders. I call them poverty pimps and Learjet leaders. But to watch them do it, it hurts. But it helps when people reject that and keep on about their regular daily business.
Sure, absolutely. Now, with the way that the media is pushing this, I assume you would call this a false narrative then of this epidemic of racism or cop on black violence. Do you think that the media is perpetrating what Donald Trump refers to as fake news?
Do I feel that the media? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're pushing fake news. They've been pushing fake news for a long time though. Even before President Trump got into office, they've pushed fake news because it's more advantageous to them. It's more, and they know the power that they have. So they come up with stories. It's almost like what Shep Smith does on a regular basis. I mean, the truth is staring Shep Smith in the face, and everybody else is reporting the truth. And when Shep Smith of Fox News gets on TV, he turns it around into a negative, and into something that's not even true. right in front of your face. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. Now I've been watching this for the last couple of hours, and now he's getting on here and he's saying that President Trump has said this, but that's not the way it went. But he has a whole hour to push that. He has a whole hour to craft, to change things around, and even if some of the reporters try to move him back to the truth, he will ding the negative and report on the negative. So yeah, it's a game that they play. It's a game they play,
and what is the end goal? Are they just in it for the money?
It's a lot of money in it. It's a lot of money in keeping people sleep, basically, or angry, or negative, because every night, I bet you, if you watch regular TV, every night, they're pushing some type of pills for anxiety,
Sure, absolutely,
or depression, or just
Soma.
Yeah, or you can't go to sleep. They're pushing those pills during the news telecast because they're lulling people into a false storyline. So that's why a whole lot of us have broken away from TV to, like, okay, now we are awake, but we have to really wake ourselves up by researching the truth and finding out more angles, and then telling more people about it. And that's basically what y'all do, what we do at the New Right. So
Absolutely. Now, are there any news sources that you do trust, that you that maybe aren't as compromised as the mainstream media? Any independent sources that you would recommend to listeners?
I don't trust nobody. No.
Only yourself.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I trust WikiLeaks, man. I do. I really trust WikiLeaks because their agenda is to get the truth out. Even though they are attacked, their agenda is to get the truth out and then let you make up your mind whether what way you want to go. And actually, that's the way it should be, though. That's the way it should be. We give you the information, and then you make up in your mind where it wants to go. No spin at all. There it is. It's right there. You read it. You make up your mind. Circa news is good. But WayneDupree.com is good.
Absolutely.
That I try to stay away from conspiracy type websites, and there are a lot of those out there too. The clickbait type things. When I started my website, it was the idea of using clickbait because that's what I was told. That's what I was. That's what
was successful.
Right, exactly. And then I realized, because people were responding in the comment section, Wayne, you're better than this. You don't have to do clickbait. You don't have to put the. I said, okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Then I'm going to put the real title up there and see if y'all still come. And people still came. So I was like, okay, well, I don't have to be clickbait. So what's crazy is that then I start going out as like a soldier on the battlefield, going against everybody that was using clickbait. I was like, wait a minute. It works if you don't use clickbait, but now you have all these websites out here that are using clickbait, and our side, our political side, and this might hurt some people's feelings, but our political side gets nowhere without clickbait. And it's a shame. It's a shame. You have, and I don't want to call names, but there's a few major ones that are clickbait every day. Clickbait every day. And it works for them, but you know what? They also get the title of fake news. They also got the title of fake news. I didn't get the title of fake news when somebody, some college or something like that, came out with a list of who were the fake news websites. They said that I was partisan, and that was good for me because my idea when I created my website was to create a place that I could offset the liberal media. So I know that, you know, people can say that I'm partisan, but I'm fighting against the liberal media. That was my charge when I created my website. If the liberal media was going to say this, then I was going to report the other side. So yeah, I'll take partisan every day. But our side, our political side, is stuck in clickbait titles and conspiracy-like type stories that lead to nothing most of the time, and then the stories just go away. And you know, I mean, it hurts to see that some of our people can be tricked so quickly. It does. It really does. I mean, and I don't know if there's a way to fix it or not, but it hurts to see that our people can be really led down the wrong road because they trust so much, and they think
absolutely
that you know. I've interviewed President Trump 5 times, and I take him for his word. First thing, he's a billionaire. I'm not. So
not yet.
So there's no way that I'm going to interpret what he's trying to say, because if I'm trying to say, okay, well, this is what he really trying to, that makes me smarter than him. I'm not smarter than him. I'm not no billionaire. I haven't done what he's been able to. But you have so many of our people. Well, you have some people. I call them Twitter Jesus. You have so many of our people that are remixing the stuff that he's saying, and creating followers for themselves. And then when things don't turn out, then they come and try to give some type of excuse. Well, it's 3D chess, it's 4D chess. No, y'all got it wrong. You got it wrong. Just listen to President Trump. Just listen to what he says. Put that stuff out there, and just go with what President Trump is saying. Whatever.
Sure, and I do agree with you. It's a shame what so much media has become with clickbait, and unfortunately, it does seem like it's here to stay. Hopefully, with sites like yours, with the New Right Network, we can maybe progress past that. It's hard to say, but then you also mentioned that you're not so much into the conspiracy theory side. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on, say, Alex Jones?
You know what? I don't bother. I mean, he does his thing. Alex does his thing, and I don't bash him. Well, I kind of make fun of it a little bit, but I mean, but then again, look, I make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
I make fun of everybody. The other day I made fun of illegals. Well, I make fun of illegals all the time, but Alex Jones has been doing his thing for a long time, and some of the things that he says is right, and then some of the things that he says is to me seem like it's in far left field or in the outfield, and doesn't materialize. But I don't bash him for it. I don't, man, he is kooky. He's crazy. I don't do that. No. But no, he's been doing this thing for a while, and more power to him. And he's kept his audience, and he's gone through the grinder. But
absolutely.
would I consider him a conspiracy? Yeah, I do. But I also consider him a realist too. It's a mix. It's a mix with him.
All right. Yaz wants to know what are your thoughts on the recent Facebook scandal with the millions of users' data being sold?
You know what? An executive came on today and apologized. That apology is worth it's not worth the ain't worth a hill of beans, man. You can, all those millions of names are out there right now. All those millions of names out there, and apology just ain't gonna cut it. Something has to happen to Facebook, and the only reason why I am that hard on them is because of what they've done to us, the conservative voice. And my father used to tell me a long time ago that you can't mess with God's anointed. You can't mess because if you do, then you're going to be on the wrong side of the stick. Now, I'm not going to say everybody on Trump's side is God's anointed, but when you start shutting down the conservative voice, and when you start choking our lifeline about sharing our stories and trying to make us pay for it, and then this story comes and bites you in the tail, this is called karma right here. And I don't know if you're going to be able to break them up. I don't know what the response or how people are going to advertisers are already leaving them, right? I hear people are closing down their accounts. I don't know how you stop Facebook because it's so huge, but I hope that it continues. I hope people keep leaving. I hope advertisers keep leaving because of what they've done to us. And yes, I am that petty. I hold grudges.
Hey, we all have a moment like that. All right, Wayne, Mr. Punk Dilligaff here, he wants to know, what are your thoughts on Russia? Should we be thinking diplomacy as opposed to sanctions?
Yes, we should. The reason we have war hawks that are trying to force President Trump's hand into being the enemy that we were back during the Reagan what was his name? Gorbachev era. I don't think we should do that. I think that we should at least try to work things out. And Trump thinks the same way. But he has war hawks around him that want him to be angry and lethal with Russia. Now, they didn't do that with Obama. Obama was feeling all up Putin's leg when he was president. Hillary thought she was one of the guys when she was with the Russian people over there. She's giving away uranium and stuff. So nobody in the media said anything. But just as soon as Trump gets in there, man, you gotta be mad with them. You gotta do sanctions. You gotta create, and just as soon as they did sanctions back in last August, then Congress created something within the sanctions that said, and I don't know how many of the people that are listening right now remember this, but the Senate put a disclaimer in there and said that Trump could not waive the sanctions that they were putting on Russia. So you had a Republican Congress putting handcuffs on President Trump, saying you can't waive these sanctions, which is something that you usually don't see a Congress or anything do that to a president, but they did it to him, and he was mad. He came out and he also complained about it when he had to sign it, but. No, I think that we should be a whole lot more diplomatic with Russia. I think that Putin wants to be diplomatic. I know he's not the best person out there, but you keep him close. You keep him close, and you look at what he's doing. You look at and when he starts going off the straight, say, hey, now hold on. You can't do that to those people over there. I mean, if you want to keep this
alone,
yeah, leave him alone. Leave him alone. You're gonna have to afford. Look.
So keep your friends close and your enemies closer, sort of mentality.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Wayne? Why is the left so hung up on this Russian conspiracy theory with collusion and hacking and meddling in the election?
Because they want the Cold War in the worst way. They want an enemy. They want somebody. It's like they couldn't get rid of ISIS fast enough. They have too many war hawks that are in the media. They want a problem. They want a situation. And they want to tie it in with President Trump. And as long as they can do it, as long as they can write it out, it's going to be added to his name for history. Look, it's a game with them. It's a game. They know there was no collusion because that's why they went to the word obstruction. But then they know that there's no obstruction because there was no collusion. But they're going to keep on saying it all anyway. They're going to keep on making up these lies. So President Trump is like, listen, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what but for the media is like anything close to Russian, they're going to attach it to him. They're breaking news. Russian. He sneezed and it sounded like he said Russian. So they want a breakdown between the United States and Russia for some reason.
Do they want World War III? Do you think is that what they're after?
No, I don't think they want World War III. I just think that they want a breakdown, a break, a very serious conflict between Russia and the United States of America. It's almost like what they're doing with China. Okay, it's almost like what they're doing with China. China was like they've been slapping us around for years, and the media has. Now President Trump is coming out right now and said, "Okay, now it's time for us to fix it. It's time for us to stand up, pull our pants up, and say you ain't gonna do this to us no more." And now, what does the media say? Oh, you want to go to war with them? No, we're trying to make it so that it's fair for all Americans. But the media doesn't want to hear that. Just like they don't want to, or just like they're crap. It's like the media is trying to force the narrative on Russia, on North Korea, on China, and no matter what good that Trump is trying to work things out with Putin. He's trying to work things out with Lil Kim, and is also trying to work things out with the Chinese president. Trying to work these things out with them, but from the media standpoint, everything is we're almost at World War III. We're on the verge. He's gonna bomb this. Let me tell you something. If he wanted to bomb something, did you see what he did with that in Afghanistan with that Moab?
The Moab, oh yeah.
If he wants to do it. He's going to do it. And he and
Oh yeah, this is the man who said he was going to bomb the shit out of ISIS.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And basically that's basically what he did. He bombed the shit out of him. And you know what was crazy is that the media was like, well, he didn't hit nobody with that $1 trillion bomb. He didn't hit nobody. It's like, wait a minute. Why don't y'all use common sense? The thing is, that bomb was the closest thing to the nuclear bomb that we have in our arsenal. When it hit the ground, it disintegrated a lot of stuff. So, I mean, of course you're not going to find stuff. And then, then the media came back a few days later. Well, we did find bodies, their bodies and stuff and everything. But, they try to make a negative out of
anything. They'll make it negative, it seems like.
Out of everything, yeah.
All right, well, we have a question here from Touch My Stuff. He asks, how does one, this is a little bit changing pace here. He wants to know, how does one get out of the friend zone?
How does one get out of the friend zone?
Yeah, I think he's looking for some dating advice here.
Come
on, Wayne. Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. Don't do it, man. Stay in the friend zone if that's the case. Stay in the friend zone. Don't. It won't work out. You know what? I'll say this. Some people are put into your life for a reason, and some people put into your life for a reason, and then other people are put into your life for a season. So just because things are going good doesn't mean that person is supposed to be in your life forever, because that person might be in your life for just a season and they're supposed to leave. But what happens to some of us in us trying to be too smart is we try to take those people that are supposed to be in our lives for a season and we try to make them fit into our lives forever. And it causes a whole lot of problems. So, if it works out, it's going to work out on its own. You don't have to do anything extra or change anything.
All right. I think he'll appreciate that advice. Thank you, Wayne. Now, you did mention that you think some people are in your life for a reason. You also said that you are the son of a pastor. Wayne, what influence does God and Christianity have in your life?
It never goes anywhere. It's still, it stays there. It's rooted and grounded me to know where I can fall back on if I have any problems. I'm not as religious as what I used to be, but that is, I went to church nine days out of a week. I was in church, 24, 36, man. I mean, I was everything in church, but I understand the importance of religion. I understand the importance of God. I understand the importance of being rooted and grounded and prayer. So these things are the cornerstone of who I am right now. That's, I live for that. And, it's something that I try to teach my kids, and, I don't stray too far away from it.
All right, thank you. JJ asks, what are your thoughts on Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, they do. But so does all lives matter. All lives matter too. Going back to what we were talking about with the color and everything, I don't break things down as color. They did because of a lie. And I understood what some of them want to do. And I know they want to bring attention to certain things. But what happens when it gets dark at night, or when it used to get dark at night, is the hoodlums used to come out and use that base as a way to attack cops and to attack businesses and to go plumb crazy. You had opportunists. I also think George Soros was part of that too. But you have opportunists that have tried to use that name in ways that it wasn't gonna look good. It wasn't gonna look good, and they know it wasn't gonna. But they were so angry, and you would think that, and not many of them were really political. You would think that the Democrat Party, who has promised them so much for so long, would have been able to deliver on some of those promises, and they have not. So now you have liberal voters, or liberals, or socialists. I call them socialists. You have them angry at their situation that was created by a political party that has lied to them for over 60 years. And then, you also have another 140 years on LBJ's 200 years that they would be voting Democrat. So in the next 140 years, then they'll switch over and maybe things will be a whole lot better for them. I don't know.
Well, time will tell, I suppose, Wayne.
Right.
RSAS 1980, he's got a topical question here. What are your thoughts on the Conor McGregor situation? For those listening, Conor McGregor, a warrant went out for his arrest. I'm not sure if he's been arrested yet, but he threw a dolly at a bus and seemed to sort of have just a rage, I'm going to maybe call it a temper tantrum. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I saw that. Some people say it was staged. I don't know. I don't think it was staged. Connor's crazy. Connor's crazy as hell. He is, man. And what's funny is that I thought I saw Connor. I saw this young man who looked like Connor when I was picking up my daughters from school. It looked just like him, except for he had a longer beard. Mm-hmm. He looked just like him, real small, face and everything, red hair and everything. But yeah, Connor's gonna get some time. Well, not a whole lot of time, but Connor's gonna get some time behind the bars, and he's gonna pay some money, and he'll probably be banned from the UFC for about a year. But the UFC needs him. Believe me, they do. They do. And I don't know. You know what? Maybe Conor thought it was WWE.
that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a WWE thing until some people in the bus got hurt. They're like, "Wait a minute,
that was a bit too real."
Oh yeah.
Maybe he just took too many shots to the head. I don't know. Wayne, what are your thoughts on the Stormy Daniels scandal? Did Trump hit that?
Yeah. Can
you blame him?
No, he did it. He did it. But people live their lives, and that's just they're in panic mode right now. It really shouldn't be anybody's business, but Stormy wanted to put it out there for some reason. Well, no, not for some reason. Stormy is a little bit famous right now, so that's why she did it. And she was looking for loopholes to get out of the contract so that she could tell her story. So so her name can be out there in lights. And right now, it's out there in lights. Her lawyer is doing what he is doing and stuff. President Trump really isn't talking about it, except for he said that he didn't do anything. Oh, all right, Chief. Okay, okay, buddy. Okay. But I mean, it was consenting adults. Now, I feel sorry for Melania though. I feel sorry for her because she has to go through listening to 24/7 news coverage of this stuff. But he's Playboy, man. Well, he's not a Playboy now, but he's a Playboy.
Yeah, what do you expect?
He does what he does, man.
All right, Wayne. Chris Chamberlain wants to know where do you stand on constitutional carry?
Gotta have it. Gotta have it, and also guard our schools like they do Giant and Safeway, and all the other supermarkets and stuff too. You put guards in our schools too. That's what I believe. You protect our children just like you protect these strip malls. So I also believe in concealed carry. Make sure. Because you never know who's out here going nuts. And a good guy with a gun is a good repellent against a bad guy with a gun. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. No matter.
Absolutely.
No matter what the liberals say.
All right, Wayne, taking it back to sort of something more lighthearted. Have you seen Black Panther?
Yes, I did. I saw it once. I'm not going to go see it 14 or 15 times. It's a comic book, people.
Oh, it was good?
It's a comic book movie.
What'd you think?
It's a comic book.
So it's not a major political movement going to see this movie? You don't think?
No, man. I mean, look, people were like, hey, I want to go to Wakanda. It's a comic book. There's no real place. You have people coming out there looking on globes trying to find Wakanda. First off, to tell you the truth, you can't find Wakanda because it was invisible in the first place in the movie. So you're not gonna find it on any globe. And secondly, it's a movie. So it was a great movie, but I wasn't gonna go see it 4 and 5 times. I might do that with the Avengers, but that's about it. Yeah.
All right, Wayne. I want to ask you. We sort of know where you stand on illegal aliens, but what about extraterrestrial aliens? Are they out there? Are they here?
Well, have you seen Nancy Pelosi?
I have. Yeah, I guess it is questionable whether or not she's from Earth.
I mean, I don't know, man. The rocks upstairs for her just aren't tuning in with the reception anytime soon. Extraterrestrial aliens. I hope there are. I hope they are. Seriously, I hope there are. I hope that there is other life out there. And I hope one day that we're able to connect with them and they're able to take the Democratic Party to a solar system of their own and leave them, so that they can try to survive on their own. But look, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, but like I said, I'm not into conspiracy too much, but I wish that they were. I'll say that.
All right, perfect. Perfect, Wayne. I got to tell you, we here at The New Right, we love your show. We love what you're doing. We've been fans, and we've been following you for quite some time. And I want to thank you again for coming here. We're just about out of time. I want to ask, is there anything that we get a chance to get to that you want to mention? Anything of yours you want to promote? Please take the time to do so.
Hey, everybody, I want to say thank you for allowing me to do this AMA. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Theory, for contacting me. And it's been a long time coming, but this was great. You are a good host, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, you great job. I have a radio show that we moved to Vimeo, vimeo.com/Wayne Dupree Show. But you can also listen. I have an app for my for Android or the iPhone, Wayne Dupree Show app. And we are on nightly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just decided that we were going to start interviewing newsmakers and game changers after what happened in Alabama and Pennsylvania. So we're bringing on people to motivate the base, to wake people up, because these midterms are very important. And right now, it's a coin flip. Seriously, it is. It's a coin
absolutely.
flip. We have to get conservative voices elected. And let me say this one thing, and if I piss you off, good, but we need more Trump supporters and less Trump followers. We need people that are going to support President Trump and also try to get him help, instead of rushing to retweet every tweet he has or every Instagram post that he has and not worrying about anything else. And I think that's where many of our many followers have fallen off, is that they aren't worried about anything else, because they think, oh, well, President Trump got it. He's smart. He outsmarted them all. Okay, fine. He's president. We still need to elect people that with the MAGA mindset that's going to go up there and help him. And if we aren't tweeting out their stuff, or we aren't finding them to bring them to DC, if the Democrats win in November, President Trump's going to have a hard time for the last 2 years. Believe it. So we really need to find these candidates, and we really need to promote them and get them elected.
I agree. That's what we're trying to do here with the New Right Network. That's what you're trying to do, Wayne. And I definitely would encourage all our listeners to tune in to the Wayne Dupree Show. Wayne's got a lot of insight. And a great guy. And Wayne, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.